Okay, let's talk about this plant right here. Everybody grab one. When we harvest plants, I encourage everybody to engage all of their senses. We have 5 senses because each one of those is a different form of communication. Each one of those senses is meant to help keep us safe. So sometimes when people get poisoned from eating stuff they're not supposed to, it's because they just and they only engage one sense. Well, that's 4 other tests that you failed to do. And the other thing on that I want to say is that wild plants are not dangerous. The only way that you would get poisoned is if you're just going through the woods and you just start eating stuff before you identify what they are, right? There's no bad dandelions sitting in an alley waiting for you to walk down that alley so they can jump down your throat. So, number 1, if you can resist the temptation to just eat foreign foods, you'll always be safe. Then we engage our senses. So we put all plants through 5 different tests. First, what does it look like? So what does this look like?
Chamomile.
Kind of like chamomile. I like it. You're a professional.
It smells like chamomile.
So it looks like chamomile. So already it's telling us, hey, this looks like a familiar food that I'm accustomed to eating, right? That's a very good point. I'm so glad you brought that up. The next test is what does it feel like?
Soft.
It's soft. I can conceivably eat this because it feels soft. If I were to try and eat that telephone pole, maybe my eyes would get confused. I don't think they would, but if my eyes got confused, I'd feel it, and my hands would tell me what my eyes missed. This is really hard. I'd break my teeth if I would eat it, right? This little plant has now passed the looking test and the feeling test. Now, what does it smell like? If you smash the flower, it smells like pineapple. And I'm so glad you bring this up because this is called pineapple weed, and it's a wild chamomile.
Oh, it does.
So look at that. This is how we learn about plants. So it looks like chamomile. Well, lots of plants look like chamomile. We feel it. It feels soft. We smell it. Oh, wow, it smells like pineapple. So now we just learned, looks like chamomile, smells like pineapple. Those are really good identifying characteristics. So we have 2 more senses. What does it sound like? In Native American lore, you would actually talk to the plant and it would talk to you, which is a quality that I've lost. But I interpret that sense to be like, what does the environment sound like? I hear somebody mowing. Is somebody spraying chemicals? Is there a big roadway nearby? Is there any sound that might jeopardize the edibility of this plant? And then the very last test is, what does it taste like? And so you're not just going to grab a bunch of it at the beginning and just put it in your mouth and go, I hope it tastes good. You're going to approach it cautiously and you're going to just eat a little bit and then you're going to wait. And then if you do this cautiously and over time, you'll understand, oh, chamomile, wild chamomile, aka pineapple weed. If you dry this, it makes a really good tea. Chamomile has calming properties. If you have any sort of allergic stuff going on because of the seasons or food allergies, it'll soothe those. And it also helps to improve sleep. So what I would do, I would actually throw these flowers and tender leaves into salad. I would saute them, put them on an omelet, if you will, throw them in soups, or just dry the leaves and make a tea out of them.
So if you did do that, if you put it on a salad, how many of these would you do without being?
Okay, so if it was my very first time eating this plant,
yes,
I would just put like a handful on it, right? And then just see what happens.
But a handful.
A handful is fine. A lot of people get nervous about wild edibles because they think, oh, if I misidentify it, the consequences are huge. But the consequences most of the time are relatively insignificant. Like you might get a little bit of a stomach upset. That being said, we want to eliminate as many variables and consequences as possible. So we approach new food cautiously, and then we eliminate those variables. And in fact, actually on that sheet that I gave you, I have Sergei's rules for foraging, and it's 3 simple rules. Number 1, don't eat something if you don't know what it is. kind of common sense. A lot of people actually disregard that, surprisingly. I get emails all the time. People say, my kids and I went out and we harvested this plant. Can you tell us what it is? We ate a bunch of it. So I actually made a rap song that's on YouTube called Don't Eat Something If You Don't Know What It Is, that plays around with how silly that can be. The second rule is eat new foods in small amounts. So maybe when you're young, everything is foreign to you and your parents are very cautious. Like what happens when he eats sweet potatoes? He's good. What happens when he eats lettuce? Oh, he's fine. And then maybe you get to peanuts and your parents figure out pretty quickly, ooh, peanuts don't do so well for him. So you learn at a young age what you're allergic to and what you're not allergic to. Well, in the interest of staying safe, that's essentially what you're doing when you're playing around with new plants. So you're going to approach all new plants as though you're potentially allergic to them. So even though Sergei says pineapple weed is 100% edible, the first time you eat pineapple weed, you're just going to eat a little bit. And then rule number 3 is you don't mix plants. Because if I made a salad with 15 new wild edibles and then I had an allergic reaction, it'd be very hard to weed out what caused it, right? All right, let's keep going.